When I'm led to talk about a topic, and trust me, I'm led to talk about topics. These squirrels, he's trying to front. He's gonna get run over if he don't move. Look at them. They're busy squirrels digging in the ground, getting ready for winter, I guess. They probably got about 4 or 5 nests. When I'm led to talk about a subject, it starts popping up in so many different ways. It's not even funny. Before all the floods destroyed all those places, I was starting to see something new, you know. And one of the things I was starting to see is the person you were yesterday doesn't exist. And tomorrow, the person you are today don't exist. So do you really exist? And then I said, well, let me take it a little bit further. When we see Jesus, we'll be like him. So all this will be like a vapor. Your life is a vapor. So the you that's here in 3D doesn't really exist. The only thing that exists is the new creature in Christ, the mind of Christ is in you, right? The spirit mind. So then it just it always evolves into seeing new revelation. And so then I can't remember how it progressed. I could look at the videos and see. That's one reason I record so many videos, because not only am I recording a lot of videos, I don't care how many hits I get, because I can download certain ones to the website and put them in a section, you know. Download them to my hard drive, and when I can find time, when I catch up and find some time, maybe on my vacation, I'll organize all my videos for topic or whatever. I've got them saved on the hard drive. I probably need a second hard drive to back them up, you know. But so I started seeing that we're not even real. None of it's real. It's all going to burn up. It's all a vapor. It's monopoly money. None of it's real. It's real to the flesh and to the flesh mind, but the spirit mind is outside of this place. If you really step into the spirit mind, you can step out of like as I'm driving, I can step out and look at myself driving, and actually as I'm talking, my spirit mind is in peace. I'm in awareness. My true self is just aware of all this, right? None of this really matters. It matters, but in 100 years it don't matter, right? It don't matter. In 100 years, none of this matters. None of the people that you love, the people that hurt you, the people that you hurt, it won't. In 100 years, it won't even matter. Apostle Paul said, "Forgive one another," because there's always going to be the reason that there's going to be misunderstandings is because everybody's perception is changing. They're changing every day. They don't see that they're changing. Here's a good example. Let's say you see somebody this year, a year or two goes by, and you see them, and they've changed, their body shape's changed, or stuff's changed. But the people that their family, or the people they rub shoulders with every day, people they work with, they haven't seen the change, right? If somebody from the past I was at the grocery store last year or something, and my cousin's ex-wife was behind the counter making a deli sandwich for me. And she knew me like that. She said, "You haven't changed in 20 years. You look the exact same." I said, "I know." I started to tell her how to step outside of time, but I knew it wouldn't. I didn't say I know. In my mind, I said I know. I said something maybe like, you know, I couldn't. She had changed. I almost didn't recognize her. She had changed, but it's like, okay, how do I respond to this? But I was thinking the reason is I'm not under stress. I'm not under worry. People, if somebody's in my house or in my space that's causing me to be stressed, they gotta go. If somebody's in, just like David in the Bible, he said, I won't have a liar in my face, and I won't have a liar in my household. I want you to really think about what lies do. This is why I'm talking about the fake reality bubble. But let me go back before I get off on a tangent. So it started to evolve. Well, none of this is real because it's all a vapor and it's all going to be burned up. And the Bible says in 4 or 5 verses that this is this evil present world. It's an evil present world. Is evil really real? No. It's going to burn up. The only thing that's real is what? Love, truth, I guess the fruit of the Spirit, joy, peace, goodness, meekness, temperance. What are you going to be in the eternal state? That's what's real. You're not. Look, you got dead fingernails, dead skin, dead hair. You go to the bathroom like a beast. This place is not something to be proud of down here. This present evil world is going to be renovated, and there's going to be a new heaven and new earth. It's going to be totally different. Yeah, those trees are alive. The grass is alive. You're alive. There's life here, but there's also death. You can look over here and see death, but you can also see life. Death, resurrection. Death, resurrection. But was when the devil tricked Eve and she ate the apple, was it evil? Yes, Eve was ill. She was evil because she ate of the wrong spirit. Evil. She dropped us all down into time. When you really step outside of time, and I couldn't have told my cousin's ex-wife this because she was working and it's just too deep for the average person anyway. Even if it's a theologian, they don't even hear you. Even if it's a theologian, they can't even hear you. Eve dropped us down into time. It means time is befallen. It's the dark side, right? Is the dark side real? No. And the reason you know that the dark side is not even real, because the dark chases the light to try to get life. So Wile E. Coyote has to chase Roadrunner. The flesh has to persecute the spirit. And these people are in a fake reality. The hive mind is trying to get life by the snake eating itself. But the hive mind has no life and is trying to get life. But instead of running to Jesus, and Jesus said, drink of my blood, eat of my flesh, instead of running to Jesus and getting life, what is the hive trying to do? Eat each other. The creation eating itself, the snake eating itself. And what happens if you just eat of the earth plane of the creation? You die. What happens if you eat of eternal life? You live forever. There has to be something outside of this system that's eternal, because this is temporary. And if it's temporary, it's not even real. And so I went through a process of just thinking about this stuff each day and turning it over in my mind. I'm thinking, this place is not even real. None of it's real. It's all fake. The person you were yesterday doesn't exist. And the person you are today won't exist tomorrow. So this person over here that you're relating to, they're talking a talk. Let's say it's your spouse or your girlfriend or whatever. Let's say somebody close. And you love them. And if you're not connected to them day by day, you're both going to be apart because you're changing apart from each other. So if you're not going through the daily routines, hey, my tire's flat, let's go over here. Okay, let's go over here. And you're not going through the struggles together, you're changing. And that person, if they're not quantum connected to you on a day by day, they're not growing along with you. You become a different person. And so that person you used to know isn't even real. They don't even have to catfish you. It's just not real. If you disconnect from it, think about how many times, let's say you changed. Remember, okay, let's say you worked at this job. You go across the street and you work over there, and you're so preoccupied over there A year later, you go back over there and there's different people working. They painted the office. They changed everything around. They put new technology, new systems, new barcode readers and new scanners. And you walk back and you say, is this even the same place I was at? No, it's a different place. It's different. It's new. Every day's new. I'm running out of time because I'm coming up on my destination, but let me see if I can get to my point. So there's no reason really to get bent out of shape about anything or anybody or any situation, because in 100 years you'll be dead and it won't matter. And even next week you'll be a different person. They'll be a different person. Now if it's a serious quantum connection, there's going to be that pull, and you have to ask yourself, why does this person keep coming back? And why do I keep going back to them? Or why do we keep staying connected, you know? Well, why ain't they being real? Why are they hiding? Why don't they trust you? Why don't you trust them? Why are they going through this? Because think about it. They're in delusions. They haven't done the meditation like you have to see past this thing. So their perception of you, their perception of reality, their perception of their insecurities or their mistakes in the past, or they think that's gonna be a problem or something like that. They're dealing with a lot of stuff, and so whether it's on the job, whether it's relationship, whether it's family. So if you disconnect from family, it takes a while. But if you were to go back, you're a different person. Here's a good example. Here's a good example of what I'm talking about. So let's say there's this son. He was raised in this family, and at 17, 18, he goes in the military. He goes into boot camp, shaves his head around all those guys. He becomes a man. He's in there push-ups, and then he goes to war or something, and he comes back 3 or 4 years later, and they're looking at him, and he's looking at them, and they don't recognize him anymore. He's his own man. And they only know how to deal with him according to when he was under their house or whatever. He's a man. He came back a man. But they're still going to try to treat him like a child. But he's going to resist that. But their perception, and it's going to cause some friction. He's got his own money, his own income. He's got his own place to live. He's got his own retirement. He's in the military. He's set. And in 20 years, he'll be done. But he comes back, and they're trying to treat him like that fake reality that doesn't exist anymore. And so this is true when you focus on Jesus. When you set your affections above. This earth don't know you anymore. Let's take it to the nth degree. Not only does your wife or girlfriend or family or whoever that you've been away from, because you set your affections and they didn't want the Pilgrim's Progress, you're going up. And you're serious. You want truth in the inward parts. And they're still connected to something down here, something emotional, some video game, football game, some kind of whatever, some kind of stupid stuff. And you're looking unto Jesus, and all you think about is the truth. You don't listen to music anymore. You don't listen to radio. You don't care what's on the news. You don't care about politics. You don't care about nothing. So you're looking to Jesus. And you go back to the house and knock on the door, and they say, "Hey, how are you?" And the first thing coming out of their mouth is something bitterness or past or problems or trouble, and you're looking and you think, did I just go in a time warp? Did I just go back in time? Those piddly problems are nothing to me. Somebody I don't see much, she was working day. She says, now when you go on vacation, she says, hey, call me by my name, and she said, promise me something. I said, what? Because I'd hardly ever work with her. I said, what? She said, when you go on vacation, go somewhere. And I've told her 1,000 times, if I go over here, it's the same as if I go over here. There's grass here, there's grass here, there's water here. Over across the seas, there's grass there, there's water. Wherever I'm at, that's here. There is here. Where is here? Here is here. Here. There. The same. I don't look at life as places and positions or in time. Every moment is the now. I know you won't believe this, but I've really renewed my mind such that I could sit here or sit over there and it's the same to me. Now, the only difference is if you quantum connect with somebody you love, it would change everything. Because they have to, but see, if they call you crazy, some of the stuff you talk about, if they think you're crazy, they're going to go away. But if they go along the path, the Pilgrim's Progress path with you, they see how you got to where you're at, and they hopefully got there too, that there's no such thing as time. There's no such thing as space. This is a simulation. It's all a projection. It's a copy machine. It's a reflection. As above, so below. As within, so without. God has set a script for you. And within this script, you have free will to make choices. Do I want to live in Genesis 3 lies, or do I want to live in the revelation of truth that's happening all the time, and God is revealing new truth? And if I have situations around me, drama, I'm this kind of short-circuiting the receiving of new truth. Because the noise, the media, the drama, just like if you have a pet in your, the pet's got to go outside or whatever, needs some food. And the less distractions you have, you stay in that revelation state, you stay outside of time, and you stay in the now, and you're outside of space and time, to be honest with you. And you might think that's impossible, but it's not. And I can prove it, and I've proved it 1,000 times. That's a house, that's a house. If I go down here, and there's a stop sign here. If I go down here, another house, stop sign. It's the same. It might be a different shape, but it's still shingles and windows and siding and 2x4s and sheetrock. It's the same. Well, that's a chain link fence. Well, that's a wood fence. That's a chain link. That's a wood. It's the same stuff everywhere you go. It's the same conversations. If you don't do the inner work, you'll never get here. You'll have Rock 92 on, or the country station on, or you'll have something going that just keeps you in the loop-de-loop. And then when you're rubbing shoulders with people who can't hear what you're saying and never heard this before, and they're talking about, Halloween's right around the corner. How many Halloweens do you have to go through? There's a pumpkin blew up. How many Halloweens do you have to go through before it's the same? How many Christmases? How many holidays? How many vacations? See, she wants me to go somewhere on my vacation. I'm going somewhere, all right. I'm going to my destiny. Not only am I going to be cutting off all noise and spiritually step into that other realm while I'm in this realm. See, the less distractions you can stay in that state of awareness, that state of peace, that state of revelation, of seeing new truth. You can actually see what's going to happen before it happens. When you really get into that flow, that peace, and you can see what's going to happen before it happens. If you ever experience it, you realize this is just a movie. This is just a training program. I could sit here for an hour if I went. I could just sit here an hour and just think, just be in total peace. Really. Now, what happens is when you quantum connect with somebody else, what happens? Man born of woman's full of trouble as a spark fly upward. We have trouble in and of ourselves. We face trouble. But then when you add another person in the mix, it turns into exponential trouble. Because like I say, the perception of each person, the perception filters, they're saying, why'd you look at me like, why'd you say that? Are you mad at me? Are you mad? Why didn't you clean the house? Why didn't you do that? So when you quantum connect with somebody, it drops you back down into time. It drops you back down in the flesh, in the natural. And that's when you lose your peace and you have trouble. If you're so used to just total silence, you quantum connect, and it's like, yeah. Like, oh no, I'll talk about this later. I got ready to go do some work, you know. Crawl under a house. You good to go today? Yo, you good to go today? What time? 30 minutes, all right. Yeah, so when you quantum connect, whether it's a church, a job, whatever, you see that same person every day, and you're down in time. You disconnect from everything and just be in a state of awareness in the now. You're outside of time. What happens when you're outside of time? Your age has to slow down because you're not in time anymore. Please go somewhere. Where am I going to go? Beach, mountains, same trees. Am I accomplishing my goal? Am I hindering my goal? Am I accomplishing my goal? You know. We'll see if that person follows through. I expect people not to follow through. You've lived long enough now. You expect people not to follow through with what they said they were going to do. But we'll see. Most people don't follow through with nothing, with jack. Most people don't keep their word. You already know. I don't have to tell you because it's a fractal. You live down here too. It's a fractal. You already know. You just don't know that you already know. You played the game. Deja vu's happening 24/7, 7 days a week. You played the game 1,000 times. You already know. The question is, are your affections above or below? That's the question.